specific type of panic that sets in when you realize you have no income and a mortgage. My boyfriend had just lost his job, and then on a stunning 40-degree Tuesday, I found out I had lost mine too. The way I found out was completely unhinged via a WhatsApp group chat. And I would have seen it sooner, but my phone was overheating, so I had to put it away. When does anybody ever do that? So I'm just sitting there, blissfully unaware, sweating, while my entire career was crumbling in my notifications. Which is funny now. It was not funny at the time. But now I'm a UGC creator, I work for myself, I'm about to leave for 2 months in Europe. Here is everything that happened in between. I cannot for the life of me remember the last time I didn't check my phone for like 3 hours. You know when you pick up your phone and there's like a million messages from the group chat and you get this sinking feeling and you're like, what the hell has just happened? My work WhatsApp group was popping off. I could see a million notifications. I was like, this is weird. That's not really a chat that's used for conversation. It's used for like actual work updates. When I scrolled back up to that big long message, I was like, I've lost my job. The business I was working for closed down, and I think in a normal sense I would have been upset. Obviously, I've just lost my job, but I don't think I would have been as shell-shocked if my boyfriend didn't lose his job the week before. A beautiful 40-degree summer day at the beach, and little did we know going for this holiday we would actually be returning with no jobs. And we have a house, we have a mortgage that we have to pay. I remember reading that message and just turning to Connor and being like, I've literally just lost my job. Is this something that would happen in a movie? How can 2 people lose their job within a week of each other when they have a house and a mortgage to pay? I'm just kind of one of those people that live in a little bit of a delusional world though, so I was like, this is not a holiday problem, this is a problem for when we finally make it home. We came back from our holiday and Monday rolled around and it should have been a like, let's go to work kind of Monday. And we were both just like, we need to figure this shit out. And the decision that we both made over the next few weeks was either going to be the bravest thing we've ever done in our whole lives, or literally the stupidest idea and our whole entire life is going to implode. Honestly, I'm still not sure which one. I love creating content, clearly. Please just take my word for it and don't scroll back to my very first video on here. So that's the reason I did UGC. I love creating content. I love the creativity. I love being on camera. I just think it's so fun. Sure, I was making a little bit of money from it. I just loved that it was low pressure. It was my hobby. It was something I got to do for fun, and that little bit of extra money piece was just a bonus to it all. I honestly never really saw myself going full-time in UGC. It felt scary to have that kind of responsibility on myself. And honestly, I was scared that if I started doing it just because I needed the money, that I would fall out of love with it. There's just such a huge difference between doing something as a hobby because you truly love it, and then it feeling like it's a necessity because you have to pay your mortgage or you would potentially lose your house. And I feel like in that moment, I didn't get to choose to make that leap. Is cutting onion on camera such a good idea? As far as the onion making me cry. There was one question that I just kept coming back to. Do I actually believe in this enough? Because I was about to find out whether I did or not. I needed to pull my big girl pants up if I was going to make this a full-time gig and do all of the shit that absolutely terrifies me. Treating this like an actual business now that I'm reliant on it for my income was so important. That doesn't make it easy. Increasing your prices and charging your worth is absolutely terrifying. When it was a hobby, it didn't really matter how much money I was making for it. Excuse me. When it was my hobby, it didn't matter. Lizzie, you can't stay there. Come on, sit down. When it was my hobby, it didn't really matter how much I was charging. I didn't have to worry about my super, my mortgage, my bills, my tax. We still have to worry about tax, but you know what I mean. I knew that I needed to increase my prices. I wanted to put together some packages that really made sense for brands to get the value out of what I was giving them, but equally I could charge enough to actually make this a full-time thing. Brother, you can't stay there. Actually enforcing that came with a lot of doubt and fear in my mind of, am I actually good enough to make this work and charge these rates? But now that I was literally relying on it to be able to pay my mortgage and have a house, I I just did it. Don't get me wrong, my hand was literally shaking pressing that email, but we still had a mortgage, remember? And I literally could not afford to play small in that moment. I didn't get to back myself because I felt ready. I had to back myself because I actually had to. But it turns out those two things can actually get you to the same place. The craziest thing is I am probably the happiest I've ever been in my whole entire life, and it is all thanks to literally losing my job. The freedom that working for yourself gives you, and not in the big sense, in the little tiny moments. Like being able to go-karting on a random Thursday because it's my brother's birthday. Or being able to run out to the shops in the middle of the day because you need to grab something and you want to avoid all of the peak hour traffic. Or simply just doing your washing at like 2 p.m. I think every single day I wake up and I'm like, I cannot believe this is my job. The brands that I have worked with, the opportunities that have come my way, and the income I am now making is absolutely wild. If I could go back to that girl who got that WhatsApp message on that 40-degree day at the beach, I would tell her, this is the best thing that has ever happened to you. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be rough, but the payoff is indescribable. I honestly don't think that if that company closed, I would have ever gone 100% in on myself and become fully self-employed. I always would have kept that safety net because it gave me that peace of mind that I knew my bills were paid. And that fear of turning my hobby into a full-time job was probably too big for me to take that leap myself. I can tell you now, I would not have jumped without being pushed. Getting physically pushed out of your comfort zone is the best thing that can ever happen to you. Now I'm about to go to Europe for 2 months and I need UGC to fully fund my trip. We have a couple of weddings over in Europe, so it is a non-negotiable that we actually make it there. But as you know, I've just lost my job, I got a mortgage to pay, and now I'm going to be spending 2 months gallivanting around Europe. So UGC really needs to pull through for me. To be honest, I'm not really 100% sure how we are going to get there. I haven't quite nailed down my pitching and my negotiation, and also trying to figure out how I will be filming for brands when I'm on the other side of the world traveling around. Is that even possible? But we have 2 months of travel to pay, plus back at home, we've still got that mortgage to cover. I genuinely don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull this off, and I've got a lot of work ahead of me, but I will be sharing the full journey with you. I'm talking the pitching, the negotiation, the numbers I need to hit. We can just go on this journey together, and it can either be a massive success, or we could be risking our house again. I don't know why I do this to myself.